right. Hi, guys. Thanks so much for hopping on today. So, my name's Molly. For those of you who don't know me, I think I know everyone on the call. Anyway, I'm friends with Sarah and Andrea. Thank you so much for coming on and supporting them. We're going to talk a little bit today about this nutrition program that we've all been doing, and we all feel amazing on, and we just want to share it with the world and have everyone feel as good as we feel. So I'm just going to give a really quick breakdown about how the program works. So with this program, it's essentially flushing your body with superfood nutrition, kind of thinking about healing yourself through holistic ways that your body understands. It sounds really simple, but our bodies thrive with food that can break down easily, and that's very nutrient dense. So the way this program works is it is 2 meal replacements a day, and that includes your protein, gut support, as well as tart cherry juice. So I'll break down each one of these a little bit more just to kind of explain how they work. So your 2 meal replacements, your power shake is part of it. So this is a superfood powder that is non-GMO, organic, pesticide free. It is gluten free. And what it does is it helps alkalize your body. So for those of you who are familiar with why we alkalize our body, like I see so many people out there drinking alkaline water, and I'm like, why do you want to make your body alkaline? And the reason for that is a lot of diseases cannot thrive when your body is alkaline. When you're in an acidic state, things like cancer thrive. So when we put our body in an alkaline state, we're really preventing or trying to heal our body from certain types of diseases and ailments. So that's the power shake. Let me actually pull up. I think I have, just so if you're one of those people that likes a visual, I'll show you guys what I'm talking about as I'm talking about it. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. So this is the power shake here. And then it comes with your protein. So this protein is actually really, really special. It was created by a doctor whose patients were in comas or paralyzed, and he wanted to prevent their muscles from going into atrophy. So this protein is actually designed to build muscle even at a resting state. And for most proteins, it's funny when I talk to people who are on these super high protein diets, something like whey protein, if you're into protein shakes, your body only absorbs 18 to 22% of that. And the remaining 80% or higher actually gets filtered out through your kidneys. So that's very, very difficult. It's very hard for your body to break that down. And especially if you're someone who's diabetic, someone who is on dialysis, you actually want to take that stress away from your kidneys. And even things like meat, you're only absorbing about 40% of that, and the remaining 60 is getting filtered out through your kidneys. So with this protein, you're actually absorbing 99.4% of this protein, and only 0.6% is getting filtered out through your kidneys. So again, it's great for people who are diabetic, especially as we age. It's very hard to build muscle and maintain that. So it's going to, one of the things people always say is, everyone's been saying I look more toned, and I'm not really doing that much more. That's what this protein is meant to do. So the next part of that is the biomedic here. The biomedic is also really special. It's actually one of my favorite products. I kind of call it the silent secret weapon. So it is a pre and probiotic. And what makes it so special is that it is the only clinically proven thing that you can find anywhere that will help remove glyphosate from your system. And for those of you who don't know what glyphosate is, it is Roundup. It's a pesticide, herbicide, and it's used on a lot of our food. It's in our food, our water, it's in the air we breathe. There's not really a way to avoid it. And glyphosate is linked to things like cancer, autoimmune disorders, autism, infertility, I mean, the list goes on and on and on. It's literally poison they're spraying on our food. And actually, I just learned this last week from a documentary I learned, which is super scary, is that the company who created the poison for the gas chambers back in World War II during the Holocaust actually rebranded themselves for pesticides for our food. And that's what's being sprayed on our food. And I don't know, I feel like there's so many diseases out there now that are so much more prevalent or that we didn't even really have back in the day. And my theory is it's linked back to our food and what's being sprayed on our food. So the biomedic can remove glyphosate from your system. And not only that, it can help actually repair the damage it's done. So glyphosate also likes to coat the lining of the stomach as well as the intestines. So not only does it create all those issues I just talked about, it also prevents your body from being able to absorb nutrients properly. So I'll get into a little bit more about nutrient-dense food, but even when we are eating nutrient-dense food, if we have not cleaned out our digestive tract, we're not going to be able to absorb them properly. So then we have our apothecary. This is tart cherry juice, and this is the highest form of natural melatonin. And so what it's going to do is it's going to promote deep restorative sleep, as well as reduce inflammation, anti-aging properties. Who doesn't want that? And your body has an amazing way of healing itself if you give it the opportunity to do so. So if we still are like ingesting toxins and all this kind of stuff, even if we're having healthy food, but we're still taking in the toxins, our body's not going to have the ability to heal itself. And the time our body heals itself most is in deep restorative sleep. So if you're not getting good sleep, your body's going to have a difficult time repairing itself in order to heal itself. It does have the ability to heal itself from a lot of things if given the opportunity to do so. So then we also have our super cleanser, which is our parasite cleanse. I know like this is one of those things that a lot of people get a little like the heebie-jeebies about. We all have parasites. There's certain parasites that you'll never be able to get rid of, but there's a lot of parasites that we obviously do not want in our system. So this is a really gentle parasite cleanse. The only people it's not recommended for are women who are breastfeeding or pregnant. There's also, if you are interested in this pack, there's something else you can swap that out for. That is a heavy metal detox that is safe if you're breastfeeding or pregnant. But the parasite cleanse, the way it works is you do 2 rounds of it, 10 days on, 20 days off, 10 days back on. And the reason you do that is because that is the gestation period for parasites. So essentially the second round that you're doing is killing off the eggs that have hatched. I know that sounds like really gross, but I've done parasite cleanses in the past and you just did 1 round and that was it. And this one gets rid of the eggs that hatch too, which obviously is really important. We don't want those guys in there. But what I will say about this parasite cleanse is it is very gentle. So for pretty much everyone, you're not going to be running to the bathroom. You might be a little bit more regular, but it's not going to be one of those things where you won't be able to control your bowels. Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention about the tart cherry juice is it has the ability to detox your liver and kidneys as well. There's so much damage done to our bodies from the food we ingest. And this is kind of just bringing it back to where it needs to be. So how long we recommend doing this program for is 90 days. And the reason for that is your body did not get to where it is today overnight. It's not going to change overnight. So we all have different issues we're dealing with, whether it is autoimmune disorders, IBS, inflammation, whatever it is, it did not happen overnight. So it's not going to change overnight. So 90 days is what we recommend. And I know for a lot of people that sounds really scary, but the nice thing about this is you can snack as much as you want. This is not a deprivation program. So it's not like you're on a complete liquid diet for 90 days. You have your 2 meal replacements, and that can be whenever you want. So it could be breakfast and lunch. It could be breakfast and dinner, lunch and dinner, whatever that looks like for you. It'll be your 2 meal replacements, 1 meal. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So I recommend organic, non-GMO foods, clean whole foods, meaning like just straight vegetables. If you're eating meat, it needs to be organic. If it's something like red meat, it needs to be grass-fed and grass-finished. If it's fish, wild-caught fish, and just trying to stick to a whole food diet and eliminating things like processed foods, white sugar, restricting alcohol, restricting dairy, anything that's going to cause inflammation or kind of help like not be helpful to your body to get it to where it needs to be. I recommend either cutting those things out or limiting them. For me, I'm someone where if I'm told I can never have that again, then that's the only thing I can think about. So if you have a day where maybe you have a couple glasses of wine with friends, or maybe like there's a really great charcuterie board and you want a few pieces of cheese, then just jump back on the wagon the next day. I have people who are like, if this works, it works, and I'm not changing anything about my diet. You're still going to see results. Because this is so nutrient dense, the Power Shake, everything from this line is sourced from regenerative soil, which for those of you who don't know about regenerative soil, one of the examples I was given is spinach. So back in the day, the serving for spinach to get the nutrients that you needed was 1 cup, where from non-regenerative soil, you need 70 to 80 cups of spinach. So a lot of people are overfed and undernourished because they're not eating nutrient dense food. Oh my gosh. One thing I forgot to mention about the Biomedic, which is also really special, is that it's also clinically proven to reduce your C-reactive protein by 74% in 6 weeks. So for those of you who don't know what your C-reactive protein is, that is your inflammation marker. So a lot of people who suffer from autoimmune disorders have very high inflammation. This is clinically proven to reduce it by 74%. I'm also just going to show you guys really quickly. I've had my mom on the program for 8 months, and her blood work was getting really scary the last few years. And I told her to try the program, see how her blood work looked after she's on a maintenance program now, which is 1 shake a day. But I'm going to show you guys her blood work. So this was after 4 months of being on the program. You can see how her cholesterol dropped, her LDL, everything dropped significantly. These were from the last 2 years, and you can see how quickly it dropped down. And she was not perfect on this program. She was still having wine at night. She's cut back on that now for more of the weight loss part of it. And like I said, you'll get out of it what you put into it. So if you're looking to lose weight, I would recommend not having a glass of wine every night, not indulging in the food that you normally indulge in. But the program works amazing. And it's one of those things where the only regret you'll have is not starting it sooner. So what happens after the 90 days is your program will automatically switch to a maintenance program, which is 1 meal replacement a day, which that meal replacement includes your gut support, your protein, and then you'll have the tart cherry juice at night. So that's the maintenance program. How much does this cost? The great thing about this is that you'll actually save on groceries because you're only having 1 full meal a day. It is like the cheapest, most nutritious thing you can actually get out there. It's $6 a meal, $12 a day, and for the first 90 days. And then after that, the maintenance program drops down to $6 a day. You can't even get, like my husband, when he doesn't have his shake and he has to buy something healthy at the mall where he works, he's like, I'm spending $18 to $22 on something healthy, and I still don't feel as good as when I have my shake. So it is so affordable. It's so amazing. Like I'll give you my testimonial really quickly. I've suffered with IBS my entire life. Like I think my earliest memory as a child is stomach aches. And I was totally gaslighted by doctors, and they kept saying, nothing's wrong with you, nothing's wrong with you. And finally, I got diagnosed with IBS about 10 years ago and was given zero guidance as to what to do. And since I've been on the program, I've only had one IBS flare up, and that was because I had a bunch of coffee, which since then I've learned I can't have coffee. I've never gone this long my entire life without having an IBS flare up. And for those of you who do have IBS or know someone who has IBS, that's huge because I would literally be on the floor in a ball from the pain. I have arthritis in my hands. My arthritis and the inflammation has gone down. I'm a hairstylist, so I work with my hands a lot. And after a work week, I would literally wake up and my hands would be swollen and red. I don't have that anymore. My energy is through the roof. I feel like I have more patience for my kids. I don't know, that sounds funny, but I just feel like I'm a better mom because I have more energy. Um, my skin, I feel like my skin looks great. There's like so many non-scale victories. I have gotten back to my pre-baby weight with this program, which was a big one for me, which I actually didn't start to lose weight, but it was a nice surprise. Um, and I actually wanted to pass it over to Sarah and Andrea so they've been on the program. Sarah's been on it a little bit longer than Andrea, but I wanted them to share some of their scale and non-scale victories or whatever they're getting out of the program so you guys can hear from them too. So Sarah, I'm going to unmute you.
Good.
Yeah.
So my experience, Purium has changed my life. I was dealing with an extreme toxic overload, and it was negatively affecting my entire life, like energy, mood, um, anxiousness, skin. Um, but I've been on my healing journey for a while now, and Purium has been a part of it every step of the way, and it's impacted my recovery an incredible amount. It actually gives me chills when I talk about it, and I just like glow. Molly, I feel like you're glowing. I'm glowing. We're all just so happy about this. It's impacted for the better my inflammation, my energy, like I said, like happiness and mood. I'm just so much more stable. I'm somebody who never really dealt with like depression and anxiety very much, and I was getting to a point where that was happening every day. Um, and just clarity, like brain fog, my skin. I was dealing with a lot of eczema and irritated actually around my eyes. Um, and I can honestly go on and on about how much it's done for us, but this is my second time doing the 90-day system. I did it once with my husband before, right before the beginning of the year. And right now I'm at a point where my body's absorbing so nutrients so much easier. We're doing it again, and we're just back to feeling like amazing, a really clean energy, and just really happy. It really is amazing how happy alone, like that alone, I think is just so important. But yes, I know so many people in my life are struggling with so many issues, whether similar or different. So I'm just so happy that you guys were able to make it on today to hear about it.
Thank you, Sarah. I know it really impacted your life. And I actually wanted to touch on something you said about your eczema and anxiety and depression. So a lot of research is showing that your gut is actually your second brain. And things like your hormones are affected by the balance of your gut. A lot of mood disorders are affected by the imbalance of your gut. A lot of skin issues come from gut issues. What's happening on the inside is going to happen on the outside, right? So people who have like psoriasis, eczema, like Sarah said, a lot of those imbalances on the inside show up on the outside. So we have lots of friends who have had their skin clear up. I have a client of mine who was able to get off of her anxiety meds once she started the program. Um, I don't think there's any guys on here, but with my cycle, I don't get cramping anymore. I don't get the mood swings anymore. It's like a breeze now. And so all those things are affected by gut health. Thank you so much, Sarah. Let's have Andrea share. Let me just unmute you, Andrea. Let me know if you're able to unmute.
I'm able to. Thank you. Hi, everybody. So tomorrow marks my second week on this stuff, and um, I can report that I have really good energy. and my mind is much more clear. Like I'm doing things that I would used to just sit there and be overwhelmed with all the things, and I'm actually getting stuff done and I'm able to focus. So that's been a true blessing. And there's been lots of days more so I want to take a nap, and I haven't been taking naps. I haven't been needing to. I'm amazed by the stuff. And I'm really excited to have the no cramps. I'm really excited to see all the things that it's going to be better for me. I am so excited about the clean energy, like you said. And then the sleep really that's a really big thing for me, and it has gotten a lot better, and it's like a better quality sleep. I'm not waking up near as much, and if I do, I can go right back to sleep, which I haven't been able to do that for a couple of years. So yeah, I'm excited.
Yay. Thank you so much, Andrea. Yeah, there's so many. I don't like to call this a weight loss program. I think a lot of people, when they hear detox 90-day programs, they think of weight loss. If you have weight to release, you most likely will release that weight. However, there's so many non-scale victories that people have where they're just so grateful to win their health back, win their lives back. And so it's really just an amazing program, and it sounds so simple to just flush your body full of nutrient dense food that's clean, but that's what our bodies thrive on, and that's what our bodies are meant to thrive on. Um, so get back with the person who invited you here. We do have things like a Facebook support group that you can add yourself to. When you're on the program, you can also look, and if you have some type of ailment or something, you can go into that Facebook support group and type in, let's say, lupus, diabetes, whatever it is you're suffering with, and you can see testimonials from people on there who've, either healed themselves or are able to go through life much easier since doing the program. But get back with the person who invited you here. And I just want to thank you guys so much for hopping on. And I hope that you guys feel as good as we all do on this program. And have a good night, you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.